I don't even know what to say. I'm just overwhelmed. I got great people around me, great family that owns the stuff, great sponsors, Ford, you know, and I'm proud to be here. It's hard to do, and I got 2 of them now, and it's really hard to do. And we had a really good truck tonight.
You sure did. Allison, everybody?
Yeah, we're happy to be here. Thorsport, thank you for noting. We've been in the truck series for a long time. We love the truck series. It's very relatable. It's wonderful. You know, a truck is, you see it on the road, and you know, working with Ford, it's super nice to have the fun part of this horsepower, but you know, it's really fun and relatable with our sponsors. We have a great group of sponsors, like Joe said, a great group of people underneath our roof. As the daughter of Duke and Rhonda Thorson, I've seen a lot of guys around the shop since I've been in diapers. And it's kind of cool we all grow, we've gone through the highs and the lows together, we all stick together, and when you keep at it and stay consistent and you're passionate about it, and we have a great group of people, results happen. And it's super nice to have now 6 championships in the truck series in 11 years.
Congratulations. If you have a question for either Allison or Joe, raise your hand. Raise your mic. Start here with Zach.
Zach Sturiello, NASCAR.com. Joe, for you, you and Ty have been exceptional on the short tracks and tracks like this. Why? Obviously, Ty's background would suggest that, you know, his history makes him good here. But to have a truck as dominant as he had tonight, you guys have been successful at Richmond and at IRP as well. What has allowed that sort of success between the two of you?
Well, we're both short track aces, you want to say. We come from that background. We really run pretty good everywhere, but short tracks are our forte. I take it personal. I really love short track racing, so I take it personal to make him handle good and give everything to Ty that he wants. And he gives great feedback to us, and he knows what he wants, so I try to give it to him, and the combination works very well.
Go to John.
John Newby, Savage Ventures. So I have 2 questions. First off, how was the shoey?
Great. So, fun side fact, Ben Rhodes, he's obviously an entertaining guy in our family of racing. He's done some great press conferences here. He's kind of started the shoey with his crew chief, Rich, but I thought we should keep it going. And tonight was a golden shoey. The reason behind it is, the reason why Ty's a champion is because he puts in the work days in, days out, and just doesn't give up. And he's a familiar face in the shop. And he's kind of gotten a nickname of Golden Shoes because he just does everything right. You can't find anything you don't like about him. So it's been a nickname. Like with my dad, Duke, if you don't have a nickname, you probably aren't on his favorite list. Even though he doesn't do favorites, he's a kind of a hardcore guy. But his nickname is Golden Shoes, so the reason why he has golden shoes. And it was awesome.
Perfect. Well, glad that you mentioned that part, because with the journey that Ty's had, you know, just the stuff at Roush and then Nice and then coming to work as an engineer and then graduating to a driver, I mean, what has that process been like from your perspective, watching him just kind of basically slog through that?
Yeah, at Thorsport, a lot of a common question is, you know, why aren't you guys in the Cup Series? Do you not want to have any ambition for that? And for us, again, we have a lot of other businesses under our roof besides Thorsport Racing, and the business interactions that we have with our sponsors is valuable. And we also sponsor other racing series, NHRA, IMSA, and things like that. So we know what it's like to be a sponsor. So again, we want to have a good experience for all. And in our group, we have a mix of veteran drivers. You can see Matt Crafton, he's been with us for a long time. Menards, Thorsport, and Matt have been together for 24 years. And that's remarkable because like a lot of sports, like a lot of business, sometimes there's a lot of high turnover rate. For us, we have a group of people that go for the highs and lows, and Ty came to us, and we definitely said, why not? And we love the underdog. I won't say he was an underdog because he has just wonderful talent. He wins all the time in late models. Look at his record. And it's just like, why not piece that together? it would be hard. It's hard for a lot of teams to make that happen, but I say with the experience of the business leadership from my family, we're able to give guys the option. If you want to further your career in other series, go ahead. We're right there patting your back. If you want to make a home here, we'll help you, and we'll help when we want to win.
Thank you.
And I think that's with Ty too. He's a champion day in, day out.
Here, Elliot.
Elliot Stern, Sports Talk 805. Joe, we've seen best laid plans get screwed up at the end of a race with a caution. How hard are you in that box praying, stay green, stay green?
I was praying a lot. Some of the cautions helped us because we had to go a long time on tires there, but we, as long as we got that long run in at the end, I was pretty happy, and our stuff was pretty good on the long run. So I was pretty happy with that, and I definitely was praying at the end not to have a caution because it puts you in a box, especially with these short races in the truck series, because you don't have a lot of time to come back with tires.
Any final questions for either Joe or Allison? We got Bob here, and then we'll go to Matt.
Bob Hopper's Fox Sports. I have a few for Allison. What is it about Ty that you keep him there? Like, what's he do well? Because I don't think he brings a ton of funding with him.
So again, Thorsport, we like to work with drivers, and Ty is one of those drivers. He has the nickname of Golden Shoes. He's a good person, and I think there's a quote, you keep doing the right thing and things will pay off, and that's kind of the picture for Ty. We have a lot of good sponsorship partners with him. For example, Curb Records, they've been with us for a long time, and we're grateful to work with them. Road Ranger, they're an exciting group, they're a happy group, and they're super excited tonight to be a part of us. So definitely, I think, again, it goes to my business leadership of my family, making pieces work to put together and not making the performance side of it worried, because we've got their back and we've got them covered. And Ty is one of those racers, like there's many in the field tonight, that would love to be in his shoes, because we're a strong core and we support them very much, and we don't let them do the worry. We make sure they're taken care of.
And along those lines, he said that he talked to you guys about missing the media stuff on Tuesday. So I'm curious, did he? I don't have any reason to not believe him, but did you talk to him about it and give the okay?
So Ty, we're in Sandusky, Ohio, and a lot of our drivers come to the shop. They're very hands-on involved. In particular, Ty, he's a familiar face, so we have a good relationship with our drivers, with our team members, and that's something between him and my dad. But again, I think let's focus on, first of all, we are all lucky to live in the United States of America, and we get the right to vote. And if it wasn't that we didn't live in America, there's a reason why everybody's coming here. And there's a reason why there's so many fans in NASCAR. So first, we're going to respect his right to be a U.S. citizen. It's unfortunate that there is media on the same day as Election Day, but Election Days don't happen every day. And I think if I were NASCAR, I'd harness that our champion tonight is a proud American, he's a great guy, and he's happy to be here. And of course, any other time, Ty, I know he also did media via Zoom phone calls that day. And if you look at our record with all of our other drivers, we're definitely present, and we agree about being present and being a united force with all of our organizations. But again, we support him being an American citizen too.
And I just want to ask, because you talk about supportive drivers, Connor Jones had his issues last few weeks. I'm curious, kind of where does he sit, as far as where you stand, as far as maybe him running for you next year?
Again, if we looked at the record of any of our drivers, any other teams with other drivers, of course there's always learning curves. And sometimes it's a hard knock. Sometimes we agree with, hey, you shouldn't have done that. Sometimes it's like, oh, there is some wiggle room. That's what we like about our team, is we have veteran drivers to kind of shepherd and teach those younger drivers. And we have personnel and great guys to say, hey, buddy, that wasn't a smart thing to do. Or say, hey, next time I would do this. And Joe's phone is going off the hook because he's a champion tonight. So definitely, we're a very strong force on yes or no. We're very black and white people, and I think that's why we have results of like winning 6 championships in 11 years. It's just because people know where they stand. And again, you gotta face it, you know, like for example, a counter situation, and you gotta move on from it. And you either learn from it or you don't. And that's when people succeed, if they learn from it or not.
Over to Matt.
Matt Weaver, Sports Not. One for Joe and then one for Joe and Allison. Why is this one so emotional? Like you've done it before. You did it with Johnny, and I'm curious what makes this one even more sentimental.
Because they're really hard to do. I don't know if I'm really emotional. It's just really hard to do, and you got to be perfect. I mean, everything has got to be perfect to do this, and it takes a lot of effort, a lot of hours, and a lot of time, and it's rewarding when you do it, after you do it.
And then another question on just the natural fit that is Thorsport and Ty. I mean, obviously the Wisconsin, you can make a parallel with Johnny from that standpoint too. The upper Midwest connection, the work ethic, blue collar nature of Ty. What was the genesis of that relationship? Like who reached out to who first? And just again, what makes that a thing that you guys want to, make work?
Well, Allison hit on a really perfect. Basically, I was in place there. Ty was coming along. We have similar backgrounds, so Duke and the family decided that that's kind of how we need to put stuff together, and we've talked, and basically that's how I got put together, because people got to gel.
Did you know Ty very well before? I imagine you did, right?
I didn't know him very well, but I knew of him, and I have talked to him before. Obviously, I follow the short track racing in Wisconsin or even across the country, basically. And when you have a talented driver, you want to be paired up with them. And I've been lucky. Pretty much all my career, I've had pretty good drivers. And with a good team, good drivers, and good people around you, championships like this are won.
We'll go to Lee here in the front, and then we'll go to Davey.
Lee Spencer, Series Sets and NASCAR Radio and Catchments.com. Joe, a lot of the brilliant drivers overthink things, and he's just short of an engineering degree, and I think of, Carl Edwards and Ryan Newman, those guys that have that kind of mind. How do you kind of have to reel them in and just kind of have them use more common sense and intellect sometimes behind the wheel?
Ty's pretty good at that. He's a very humble guy, very smart. He knows what he wants. Not very outspoken. So basically, he tells me kind of what he's feeling and what he wants to do, and then I use my experience to put the pieces together and kind of give them the right direction.
Davey?
Davey Siegel with Sirius XM in the back here. Joe, you spoke about how it's just really hard to do this. It's hard to get here. I'm curious how this season's journey to get to this point is different from your one with Johnny. And I know it's early, but the emotions, having sunk in as much as they have at this point, how they compare as well.
Yeah, every year that I do this, I feel like it gets tougher and tougher, and the competition gets closer and closer. And that's a lot of good teams being put together. NASCAR basically making the rules where basically everybody's almost got the same stuff. So, it's not easy to win a bunch of races like this. And it comes down to manufacturing and people and putting stuff together. And, you don't go out there and just win a bunch of races like you do. You gotta really earn them nowadays. And you gotta get going like what we did. We got going at the right time at the end of the year and put it all together.
Any final questions for folk here to Lee again?
Specifically, who gave him the golden shoes? Because he said the only 2 races that he didn't have the golden shoes, he had mechanical failures or screw-ups. So can you tell the backstory on that?
I can't remember who bought them, but I know, I won't name names, but it started with my dad, because, him and Dad have a good relationship, like other crew chiefs, drivers, guys that work with us, even other businesses. Like, we always go out to eat. I show horses, they're in the barn, mucking stalls, sweeping, we're going out to dinner, like it's one big family. They called because Ty was always there. He was, oh, Golden Shoes is there again. I think someone bought them. I want to say, yeah, Dad might have done that. My dad's sneaky, like he won't tell anybody because he doesn't want that sticker, like that he bought them, but he definitely ran with the Golden Shoes. And Ty, as Joe says, he's super humble. He's the best person to have that nickname, but I mean, I think he sports it pretty well.